Hello, I'm Beryl Dakers. Welcome to Palmetto Scene. Brighter days are ahead, South Carolina, as we move into a new season filled with hope and restoration. And speaking of bright futures, Desiree Cheeks takes us on a visit with an amazing young entrepreneur.
Thanks, Beryl. Most young girls spend their days on the phone, doing hair, or chasing friends around the playground. But at the age of 7, this extraordinary young lady began her journey towards becoming the state's most promising young entrepreneur.
Hi everybody, hi! My name is Gabby Goodwin. I am the CEO of Confidence and the inventor of Gabby Bows. They have 2 faces so you can see the design both ways and have teeth and craters to trap the hair.
Gabby and her mom Rosalind began designing what are now known as Gabby Bows 7 years ago after a frustrated Gabby insisted that the pair should make a bow that works. From there, the mother-daughter duo began experimenting with different hair accessories before settling on their own design and beginning their entrepreneurial adventure.
I didn't really know what entrepreneurship was, but I did know that I wanted to inspire people, and I saw this as a way to do that. So I literally nagged my mom every single day about these barrettes. So, Mom, are we gonna make my bows today? Are we gonna think about an idea today? We'll be grocery shopping. Are my bows gonna be sold in this grocery store? So I was super excited to not only come up with the idea, but also help other girls not get in trouble like I did, and me not getting in trouble as well. So 2 years of, trying to figure out how to create the product at first, drawing it out, finding manufacturers and engineers. We started the business when I was 7, 2 years later, and we've been in business for 7 years. I won the South Carolina Young Entrepreneur of the Year in 2015, and then I went on to, win Black Enterprise Teenpreneur of the Year in 2018. I am still the youngest to ever receive that award, and for me, it was super surreal. You're in front of the governor's mansion and in front of all of these people, and I was the only girl that was awarded that year, and then also I was the only second grader in the midst of 4 other high school boys. So being the little one in such a in a group of such big people, I was able to really show or really say to myself that I can really do something in this field, and I am able to do things that other people dream to do, but I'm able to, pave the way for them. And so I was super excited to win the award, still really close to my heart, and excited or honored to be a young entrepreneur of my state. So that was really, I guess, one of the biggest awards that I've received, especially at the beginning, that helped me show that I can dream big and go for my goals.
It's an all-hands-on-deck family affair as Dad, little brother Michael, and even Grandma pitch in to ensure the company's success.
Family is a really big, part of my business, especially when we were thinking about the idea to now. I mean, they've spent retirement money, they've taken loans out, they've done a lot to make sure that my dream, is achieved. And especially as my mom was definitely a big part of that, because as her only daughter, she wanted to show me that as a girl I can, dream big and go for my dreams. I was able to, gain that confidence in myself through my parents pushing me out of my comfort zone.
One of the most rewarding things that Mike and I have been able to witness is just see her confidence grow. Not just the growth of the business, but her confidence grow. Our brand is confidence, and our brand is all about confidence, that all about family, the entire 360 experience, helping moms, dads, and their girls be able to cherish their precious time together. And we're able to demonstrate that because we do this business as a family.
Well, I'm just exploding with pride. I'm a little surprised that she's a 14-year-old. I thought that she was gonna be like 6 for forever. But yeah, what parents desire is to equip their kids with the tools that they need to be successful in the world, and to be able to be successful long after I'm gone. So I think that she is a good steward of the lessons that we and my wife have tried to teach her.
I've heard a lot of rejection. It's been, 7 years, and I've heard, no's all the time. But me being able to, push through those and still go through those rejections and those obstacles and come out with a successful business like this is definitely something that I would want girls to take away with. Also, there's a quote that I actually came up with, which is "No is just an abbreviation for next opportunity." I went from a young, shy girl to now a teenager who is really confident and is doing amazing things in her business. So keep believing in yourself and keep being passionate about what you're doing. If you become passionate about it, then other people will become passionate with you. That's how you gain, fans, supporters, followers. So keep going, keep believing in yourself, and always dream big.
Go Gabby. A big place in a small town saw a great resurgence during the pandemic. It's called the Big Mo, and it's located in Monetta, South Carolina. As movie theaters were shut down because of the pandemic, drive-in theaters like the Big Mo saw a resurgence across the country, quickly providing a much-needed alternative for family entertainment.
Well, it was a drive-in that was built out here in 1950. It actually opened on April 26, 1951, and operated more or less constantly until the fall of 1986. It remained closed for about 12 years until we found it in 1998. We purchased the property then. We reopened in 1999 as the single field, the main field, which is the original field. And then we added over the years. I've always wondered kind of why the original owner decided to build a drive-in in Monetta, but I understand, it drew fairly well back in the day, and what I can come up with is it's kind of centrally located on Highway 1 between Columbia and Augusta. It's kind of a rail town at one point. It's right in the middle of the peach country. What you see there is what you get. That's the town of Monetta. It's always been small. I think the population's under 300. It's kind of funny, you get a big movie during the summer and the town of Monetta will grow fivefold just from people being at the drive-in. It's one of those things where it's kind of closer to almost like a carnival in a way. We have trivia contests, giveaways. You're outside, obviously, as opposed to an indoor theater. We have the playgrounds. It also provides kind of the quintessential private experience, if you want that. Roll up your windows and be away from other folks, or the quintessential public experience in that, you sit together and be laughing and sharing comments about the movie, perhaps, that you can't do when you're at an indoor. It's really a contrast to what you would experience either at an indoor theater or even at home. It is a real shift from daytime to night. With nighttime, it becomes a very different place. Sometimes there's more drama going on behind the scenes than there is on the screen. A typical movie night during the summer, you'll have a lot of cars. Depending on the movie, you may have a full house. The pandemic's been like a sledgehammer for everything. We ran for 3 weeks in the spring and then everything closed down. We didn't have to close down, so we have been able to pick up some special events. We had to change some of the ways that we do things. Again, it hasn't been necessarily a requirement, it's just out of abundance of caution. We've cut our capacities in half for each of the fields. We've also closed the concession stand and have concessions that are kind of grab and go takeout from a tent that we put outside the concession stand. And then also all of the employees wear masks. During the pandemic, the message I would say is have a mask with you and come and join us. I mean, there's certainly going to be better times once the pandemic is over and things get back to normal. The events that we have had during it seem like they've been pretty well received and people have enjoyed themselves. It's a fun activity. Will be again, we promise. We'll be back in force, but right now I think the major thing is to be careful, and we're going to try to do that here.
Next, we'll visit an individual who has dedicated his life to promoting tennis in underserved communities. Domino Boulware, a South Carolina Tennis Hall of Fame inductee, makes tennis a reality and a vehicle for change throughout the Palmetto State. And we at ETV are most proud of him because he is a former employee.
Follow through, George. George, I need you to follow through. I need you to follow through for me, okay? Here we go. Nice shot. Ready? Go.
On any given Saturday morning, you can find Domino Boulware setting up tennis courts, preparing to teach the game of tennis to underserved youth. Domino says he learned early on that tennis could make a difference, and he wanted to give back.
Being an underserved child myself, coming out of community housing in Saxon Home, I thought that it's always important to give back, reach back, and try to encourage other youth, because this is a non-traditional sport in African American community. Everybody used to playing basketball and football and baseball. And this inspired me because I thought it was a little different, allowed me to think on my feet. So it allowed me an opportunity to get a little exercise, build some confidence, and meet new people.
Domino says tennis has given some of the youth he works with a vehicle to expand their horizons as well.
We encourage kids to come to play tennis, to play high school tennis, to get a college scholarship, and most important to our program to be productive citizens. They get a chance to talk along racial lines and meet other folks in different communities like country clubs outside of the great state of South Carolina. These kids will travel in what we call the southern section of 9 different states to have competition. So they got an opportunity to meet children from all walks of life and different backgrounds.
Over the years, Domino's work promoting tennis to underserved communities would take him all over the Palmetto State, working with different groups like the Sumter Tennis Club.
I want tennis to be a successful venture for me because with me starting to find a college to go to, and that's going to be my way. I get a scholarship and go through college, and that's how I'll be able to pursue my dreams.
Domino is a great role model for us all, not only for the students, but also for everyone, all of the adults who come out and volunteer, because he's given his life to helping others. And so for the students in particular, I am selfish because I want them to develop a passion for tennis, which is a great sport that they can play for life. And it's important for their physical health and well-being. It teaches life skills like patience, perseverance, and problem solving.
Domino Boulware has been a tremendous help to the Sumter Tennis Club. He brings years of experience. He is making sure that we're doing with the kids what needs to be done. He comes all the way from Columbia to work with our children. Tennis is also an excellent way to get out. Plus it teaches you integrity and perseverance and allows you to learn the ethics of all different types of sport.
It's teaching them life, discipline, and also the healthy aspect of it, stamina, running. I've known Domino Boulware for over 30 years, and he has been very committed to tennis. In the Greenview area there, he was a idol. Everybody knew Domino, that he was one of the first blacks that was really promoting tennis in the community park area.
This program is important for my child because my child deserves the right to have every opportunity afforded to them. If she wants to play tennis and those opportunities are actually provided, the only thing they have to do is step into those shoes, take advantage of it, and get it done.
Domino also takes his tennis leadership to the St. George, South Carolina Tennis Center, which was started by Barbara Jones.
he's very humble, so he probably hasn't told you, but he was inducted into the South Carolina United States Tennis Association Hall of Fame. And for him to come down, he volunteers his time. You know, we have a very tiny budget, and he's at least an hour away from us. So we really appreciate it, and the kids are benefiting so much. Also in the summertime, I knew that the children had not much to do. Our school district is Title I, so the income is very low. So families don't have a lot of extra money to spend on extracurricular activities. So if we had a program, we could really enrich their lives.
Tennis should be like education, colorblind, and I think the tennis have reached out in underserved community. Just need to do more, and African Americans need to do more by reaching towards USTA South Carolina to get involved with tennis. And I encourage every person that's listening to this interview to get your children, your family involved with tennis, because it's a great and awesome sport for health.
All right, bring your line right here. Ready? Come on.
Even in this dark period of uncertainty, the beauty and history of our state still shines through. Take, for example, the Trinity Episcopal Church in Abbeville, South Carolina. This centerpiece of the town is one of the most important pieces of architecture in South Carolina. But after years of neglect, its future was, well, uncertain. Enter Preservation South Carolina, a group dedicated to preserving and protecting historical structures throughout the state.
Since 1990, Preservation South Carolina has been the leading advocate for restoring and protecting historic places in the state.
Historic places matter because they tell us who we were, which in a way tells us who we are and who we can be as a people and as a society. And so it's more than just going and protecting buildings. It's not about bricks and mortar. It's really about the story and the spirit of places, which really has to do with the interaction with human beings and people and the souls of people, because those buildings are really reflection of the intention and aspiration of people and citizens. And that's why it's important to save them, because they help remind us who we are.
And in the South, nothing reflects our history like the sacred spaces found all around us.
There is no ultimate spiritual intention than the old churches and synagogues and meeting houses, because these were the places in frontier South Carolina where everybody assembled. They were called meeting houses at the time. They were the center of the community. This is where people learned the news. This was the center of their world. And we saw the disintegration of the buildings as kind of a canary in a coal mine on a lot of other issues beyond just historic preservation.
In Abbeville, at one time, Trinity Episcopal Church was the center of this small town. Today, it still stands tall, but broken. Completed in 1860, it was designed by South Carolina architect George Walker, who also worked on the State House.
The church itself to the community is like the Eiffel Tower and the Mona Lisa all wrapped up in one. It reflects architectural magnificence. It reflects an aspiration that people see and they feel. And it tells the history of the community in a way that no other building does.
The 20-foot-tall steeple, the intricate stained glass windows, and the organ are just some of the reasons this Episcopal church is an architectural masterpiece. But like most historic buildings, age, neglect, and a lack of finance put a hardship on the church. Enter Preservation South Carolina and Bill Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, author of the book Sacred Spaces, which gives an intimate look at over 70 places of worship in the state, joined forces with Mike Bedenbaugh to help restore these sacred spaces, like Trinity.
Abbeville is a very fortunate community that it still retains a lot of its original historic fabric in the buildings that tell the story of the community. And whenever you have that, you have people willing to want to come because it's so rare and enjoy it. So Abbeville has the Opera House, has this magnificent square, And at the centerpiece of all of this visually is this magnificent church. And so one of the biggest advantages of having this church here is it is one of the leading reasons people come. One of the first things they do is when they come to the square to come down Trinity and look at this magnificent view of this.
In the next approximately 5 years, Bedenbaugh hopes the restoration will be complete.
We expect if George Walker was to come back, he would be able to look off of his spiritual little drawings that he had designed this place to be and look up and recognize and be proud that it's still here.
But restoring this sacred place is much more than just about the brick and mortar.
We really see it as the voice of the space. It is the voice of the space, and to have it all put back together, just cannot wait to hear it sing to us again.
For more stories about our state and, of course, more details on the stories you've just seen, do visit our website at palmettoscene.org. And, of course, don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's at SCETV, #PalmettoScene. We leave you tonight with a segment from our ETV digital series, The Scoop, where we visit the quaint and unique upstate community called Pumpkin Town. For Palmetto Scene and ETV, I'm Beryl Dakers. Good night, stay strong, and thanks for watching.
Pumpkin Town is in the upper northwest corner of South Carolina. It's in northwest Pickens County, but it's set up right against the lower part of the Blue Ridge Mountains. The Appalachian mountain range extends down into South Carolina. Table Rock being one of those features. Pumpkin Town is just a short distance from that. Back in 1791, there were two towns in Pickens County. One was Pumpkin Town, the other one was Pickensville. Because of the Illinois Valley, it was a rich, fertile land for growing agriculture and was the primary reason why they stopped. A lot of riverbeds along the Illinois River, and one of the crops that they had grown was pumpkins. The story goes a couple different ways. It's either a corn shucking or somebody passing through. They grew a lot of pumpkins in the area. They saw the pumpkins and just said, let's quit arguing, boys. Let's just call her Pumpkin Town. Don't grow a lot of pumpkins here today, but they did then. We're right now in the Illinois Community Building. This is the second schoolhouse that has been in the Illinois community over the years. It's no longer functioning as a school. It's a community house now, but they have a lot of bluegrass here on Friday nights, and I'm gonna play a little number for you here.